Welcome back to Bucco-booth, everybody. My name is Benson Fector, and I will be the host of your show today. Baseball is back. Late Tuesday night, Major League Baseball and the Players Association agreed to a deal. They could not come to an agreement, but the owners and Rob Manfred had mandated a 60-game season. Spring Training 2.0 will start this coming Wednesday, July 1st, and opening day will either be July 23rd or July 24th. I would guess the Pirates end up playing on the 24th, with the 23rd being more of primetime games. But how exciting is this? We have baseball, and it's going to be a 60-game season. And anything can happen in 60 games, and we're going to go through it all today on Bucco-booth. So settle in and get ready for a fun hour of Pirates baseball as we are going to discuss it all. I do have one mailbag question that I want to get to today. It is from the White Gorilla. He wants to know how long you think until the Pirates get themselves back to Bucktober. Well, let me just say this straight out. And I haven't released my standings predictions on the Bucs Dugout Instagram account for the 60-game season. And when I released the 162-game one, I had the Pirates being in last place as a 74-win team, improvement from 5 wins from last year. And I think in 60 games, just about anything can happen. I mean, the Pirates were one of the worst teams in baseball last year, the 7th worst team. But at the All-Star break, over 60 games, and they're only 2.5 games out of the division. 2.5 games. Anything can happen in 60 games, and I wouldn't put it past the Pirates and Derek Shelton and that crew to make the playoffs in 2020. 2021 in a full season might be a stretch, but watch out for this team this year. I would not put it past them. The Pittsburgh Pirates have the most young talent at shortstop. One of their young talents is glove-first switch hitter Cole Tucker, but he isn't going to be a complete liability in the batter's box. The general consensus seems to be that eventually Cole Tucker will take over at shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates, potentially pushing Kevin Newman to second base. After all, this would give the Pirates the best defensive middle infield they could have. Tucker is a great fielder. Last year, in the limited amount of time he got with the Pittsburgh Pirates, the switch hitter had racked up a +2 DRS, 0.3 range runs, and 0.9 UZR, overall having a 4.6 UZR 150. While it is a small sample size, Tucker has good fielding grades with a 55 future fielding grade and 70 current and future throw grade by Fangraphs. He also can run with a 28.8 feet per second sprint speed. But one of the concerns that arises when talking about Tucker is his bat. After all, his showing at the MLB level last year wasn't too impressive. He struck out about a quarter of the time with a 25.2% strikeout rate and hit for a 211 average, 266 on base, and a 361 slugging with a 61 WRC+. But remember, this was in a very small sample size of 159 plate appearances, but you shouldn't worry too much about his offense. For one, Tucker has drawn walks at a fair rate throughout the minor leagues. Last year at AAA, Tucker hit for a 261 average, a 346 on base, and a 413 slugging with a 95 WRC+. Overall, not super great numbers. However, he did put up a 10.8% walk rate. The MLB average walk rate is 9%, and the average OBP was 323, which would make him better than the league average compared to the majors. If Tucker is a leadoff hitter, he's doing his job well. Even if he isn't posting the best at batting averages, all that really matters is that he's posting an above average on base percentage. Good pitch recognition is something you want your player to have, and Tucker seems to have decent recognition. Tucker was also doing great in the minors when he was getting consistent playing time. Through the first month of the minor leagues, Tucker was hitting for a 333 average, 415 on base, and a 579 slugging in April. Granted, it was a small sample size of 57 at-bats. In June, Tucker was hitting for a 289 average, 325 on base, 500 slugging. Again, in a small sample size of at-bats at 76. While he wasn't getting as many base hits in July or August, Tucker was still drawing walks, collecting 27 to oppose 44 strikeouts. In both months, he posted a .330 and .347 on base percentage, despite having a .220 and .244 batting average. Drawing walks isn't anything new for Tucker either. Tucker had a 10.8% walk rate in 2017 and has a career minor league walk rate of 9.4% walk percentage. If Tucker is a leadoff man, a .260 average, .340 on base, .400 slugging hitter isn't bad considering his speed. Tucker gets on base enough to use his speed and isn't an automatic out when he swings a bat. Some might see a Jordy Mercer type player in Tucker, but Mercer was not anything like Tucker in the minors. Aside from their power, they are very different. Mercer wasn't a guy you would want leading off like Tucker is. While both had similar batting averages, what's more important is their on-base percentages. Mercer had a .324 on-base percentage and walk rate of just 6.9%, compared to Tucker's .340 on-base percentage and 9.4% walk rate. He also wasn't nearly as fast of a runner as compared to Tucker. Last year, despite his overall poor hitting at the MLB level, he did show some improvement as the season went on. Tucker's numbers are as bad as they were at the majors because he got off to a cold start. His first 95 plate appearances in the majors only yielded a .157 average, .202 on base, and a .258 slugging. But as he got to face more MLB pitching throughout the season, his numbers got better. In Tucker's final 64 plate appearances of the year, he hit for a .293 average, a .359 on base, and .517 slugging with 7 doubles and 3 triples. Although both are very small sample sizes, Tucker seemed to be adjusting to MLB pitching once he got to see more of it. He also made hard contact 36.5% of the time, which is more than 2% higher than the MLB average. More often than not, hard hit balls are going to turn into base hits. In Grapefruit League play, Tucker was doing really good before it ended prematurely. His 31 plate appearances saw the former first-round pick collected 8 hits, including 3 home runs and a double and walk 4 times, while also striking out 4 times. Tucker may never be a Silver Slugger Award finalist for the Pittsburgh Pirates, but that doesn't mean he won't be a productive player, both with the bat and the glove. Tucker already has a good eye at the plate, drawing a decent amount of walks. Tucker has shown a decent amount of improvement the past year. Getting on base is a valuable skill, whether that be a walk or a hit, and Tucker can get on base at an above average rate. Plus, with his base running ability, Tucker could be a 3+ WAR player in a full season. In comparison, Josh Bell last year, a 2.7 WAR, and we all know how well he did. Kevin Newman last year, 3.1, Brian Reynolds 4.1. Cole Tucker has the ability, with the base running ability and the fielding, getting on base, put that all together, he is a Kevin Newman type player at shortstop. And Adam Frazier last year, for example, he had a 2 WAR at second base. So ideally what you would like to do is have Cole Tucker be the starting shortstop and Kevin Newman at second base. And we talked a lot about what the Pirates could or should do with Adam Frazier, because that becomes the next logical question. If you're going to put Cole Tucker at shortstop, you're not going to remove Kevin Newman, but who you do remove is Adam Frazier. And honestly, I believe Adam Frazier would bring a decent value back in a trade. And the trade deadline this year is August 31st. And obviously, they're not going to get a bevy of games in, and usually the Pirates get off to a decent start. And we'll see what direction Ben Cherington wants to go in heading into the August 31st trade deadline. But I would not be opposed to an Adam Frazier trade. In fact, over the offseason, I was hoping that they might have traded Marte and Frazier in a package to get even more. I did like them bringing in Liver, Paguero, and Brennan Malone, but Adam Frazier draws value, and he can bring in value. And sadly, it appears as if his time in Pittsburgh may be coming to an end. Obviously, he is more of a utility player, but I don't see him moving to left field and Reynolds in the center. I don't see him moving to third base or right field. He's the second baseman. For crying out loud, he was a Gold Glove finalist at second base last year. He can hit. He was hurt all last year. He can bring some true value, and I really would like to see Cole Tucker get a full season of action. He's obviously not going to get it this year, clearly, but at the end of the day, Cole Tucker has the opportunity to be a very good shortstop for a very long time in Pittsburgh. With Spring Training 2.0 slated to start Wednesday, let's examine 3 players fans may have forgotten are now with the Pittsburgh Pirates. This upcoming Wednesday, July 1st, Spring Training 2.0 will start around Major League Baseball. As the Pittsburgh Pirates prepare to ascend upon PNC Park with 60 players for their camp, they will start to prepare to kick off what will be an abbreviated 2020 season. As the 60-game 2020 season gets closer, the Pittsburgh Pirates roster will be under the microscope. To start the season, MLB teams will carry 30 players on their active roster. After 2 weeks, this number will drop to 28. It will then drop to 26 players after an additional 2 weeks. So, as Spring Training 2.0 approaches, who are the players that will be in camp for the Pittsburgh Pirates? Without a doubt, there will be some newcomers to the organization that some fans may have forgotten about. Due to that, let's take a look at 3 players that some fans may have forgotten are now with the Pirates. While the Pirates were not super active this past offseason, they did add players through free agency. However, due to the coronavirus shutdown, many fans may have forgotten about some of these players. With all that said, let's dive into looking at 3 players that fans may have forgotten are now with the Pittsburgh Pirates. First guy is outfielder Guillermo Heredia. On January 9th, the Pittsburgh Pirates signed outfielder Guillermo Heredia. The Pirates signed Heredia after he was non-tendered by the Tampa Bay Rays at the end of the 2019 season. Heredia signed with the Pirates for $1 million and will remain under team control through the 2022 season. Heredia has played in 382 MLB games between the Rays and Seattle Mariners. In these 382 games, he has logged 1,101 plate appearances. Heredia owns a lifetime .240 average, .317 on base, .342 slugging with a .84 WRC+. So it goes without saying that Heredia is not known for his offense. With the Rays, Heredia was known for being a great clubhouse presence. This is vital in any clubhouse. So despite his offensive shortcomings, this does raise Heredia's value to any team, especially a young team like the Pittsburgh Pirates that needs some clubhouse leadership. With the Pirates this season, Heredia is projected to be the team's 4th outfielder. Brian Reynolds will start in left field, Gerard Dyson in center field, and Gregory Polanco will be in right field. Heredia could see some starts in right field against left-handed pitching if Polanco struggles, but overall, Heredia will serve primarily as the team's 4th outfielder in 2020. Our next guy is pitcher Robbie Erlin. Left-handed pitcher Robbie Erlin came to the Pittsburgh Pirates this past offseason as a minor league free agent. This came after Erlin had spent his entire 6-year MLB career with the San Diego Padres. In San Diego, Erlin had worked as both a reliever and a starting pitcher. With the Pirates, Erlin is expected to be a member of the Bucco bullpen. While not a guarantee, Erlin could be the only lefty in the Pirate bullpen to start the 2020 season. The 2019 season was the first in which Erlin pitched primarily in relief. Of his 37 appearances with the Padres in 2019, 36 of them came in relief. Despite a 5.37 ERA, he finished 2019 with a strong 3.61 FIP, 0.98 home runs per 9, 6% walk rate, and 20.7% strikeout rate. He was victimized by a .373 batting average on balls against, which is a sign of poor defense and or luck. Overall, in his career, Erlin has pitched 114 1/3 innings as a reliever. Out of the bullpen, Erlin owns a 3.86 ERA, 3.57 FIP, 3.9% walk rate, 21.1% strikeout rate, and a 0.94 home runs per 9. As you can see, Erlin has been a very effective relief pitcher in his MLB career. If he can repeat this in 2020, he can help the Pittsburgh Pirates bullpen while also building his trade value for the August 31st trade deadline. And our third and final guy we're going to take a look at is utility man JT Riddle. On December 2nd, 2019, the Miami Marlins non-tendered utility man JT Riddle. This made Riddle a free agent. On January 31st, Riddle signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates. This contract put Riddle under team control through the 2023 season. Riddle may not be a slam dunk to make the Pirates roster when the regular season begins, but he seems like a safe bet. He can play shortstop, second base, center field, and third base. In his career, Riddle owns a